Evening. What needs to be done to solve the national housing emergency and create more affordable housing?
Thank you. Scottish Government today declared a national housing emergency. House prices in Scotland have quadrupled since 1995. Average pay has only doubled. Monica Lennon, Scottish Labour raised this back in November, I think, didn't it? So you'll welcome today's move, I'm guessing.
Yeah, and thank you, Rosemary, for raising it. So we've had a housing crisis for quite some time. Finally, today, the Scottish Government has accepted that and acknowledged that, but that's because there was a vote happening in the Parliament tonight. But look, you have to accept you have a problem in order to fix it. So the Scottish Government have now admitted that there is a housing emergency right across the country.
So what's going to change?
Already a number of local authorities had declared that in their own areas, but it's a national issue, it's an urban issue, it's a rural issue, it's a national issue for Scotland.
Yeah, we've got a drugs death emergency, we've got a climate emergency as well. What difference does declaring a housing emergency make?
Yeah, I mean, that's a fair comment, because what we have today, we have words, we need action. I'm a great believer that we have to build our way out of this crisis. That is about investment in infrastructure, that is about building the homes that people need. But also, across Scotland, we have thousands of homes lying empty. What a disgrace that is. There are so many buildings and empty homes that could be brought back into use. But as well as building the homes and having the right supply, it's also about making sure that people's homes are safe and they're warm, that they're affordable to live in.
But we don't have enough in the first place.
Well, we don't, so we need to build.
Or?
Well, it's partly about planning. As a former town planner, I could talk about that all night, but I won't.
No,
but what
go
I
on.
would
Well,
say
no,
is,
tell us about what needs to change with planning.
we need to resource our planning system. That's about having enough people that work in our local councils, that can work with their communities. We've seen a 20% reduction in the planning workforce in the last 5 years. We're not going to get to net zero, tackle climate and nature emergency and deal with housing crisis when you don't have local government planners and all the other people round about them. I think we've now got one planning school in Scotland. It might be one or two. The one I went to doesn't exist any longer. But it's about investment. You know, we need to make sure that our councils and our housing associations can build good quality homes that people want to live in, but also to listen to private house builders who used to work in that side of the business too, and to make sure that we build the homes that people want to live in. But it's not just about building houses, it's about making sure we've got the right roads, the right public transport, the right infrastructure in terms of drainage, dealing with flooding, making sure people have got access to parks and green space. And when we build our houses, for goodness sake, make sure our schools are big enough, make sure people can get to a GP. So Labour's looking at this holistically. My colleague Mark Griffin leads on housing, but we're looking at this across a number of different portfolios, because it doesn't just sit with one minister or one department. Local government actually is a big part of the solution, but you've got to unlock the investment, and we're really keen to do that.